What's up, my ninjas? Another month has passed, which means it's time for another chapter of the Boruto manga series. And this month's chapter happens to be very exciting, because we have the formal introduction of a brand new villain by the name of Shijoji, who has the ability to transform into people and utilize their special abilities. Everything down to their physical appearance, their voice, and of course, their signature jutsu. Boruto is still constantly reminded of the defeat of Momoshiki, as he still has that weird curse seal mark on the palm of his hand. Sasuke also knows what's going down, but he's confused as to what this seal is going to do, and is keeping a close eye on the son of Naruto. This week's chapter also happens to have some really cool kick-ass action, with watching Boruto and his team go up against a bunch of ninja thieves. And to top it all off, Shikamaru has become a chain smoker, just like Asuma. First, a couple things, let me get this out of the way. I'm still not used to it yet because I'm still getting used to these time skip versions of some of these Naruto characters. But Konohamaru, get a freaking haircut. You just look weird. With that in mind, this was a pretty interesting chapter of Boruto. Very similar to the last, we're basically just establishing what's happening after the movie version of Boruto. And I still like the fact that Boruto is sort of concerned about that seal on his hand, especially because they don't know what the hell it's going to do, and the fact that Sasuke did notice this. This is something that keen-eyed viewers would have noticed in that chapter when he was paying attention with his Rinnegan abilities. The problem is this technique is so unique that Sasuke himself doesn't really know what to do with it. He basically just tells Boruto to be extra careful. If anything goes down, let me know. We'll just cut your damn hand off, Evil Dead style. And how cool would it be if Boruto got a chainsaw for an extra hand? Getting back on track, the rest of this week's chapter was essentially this little action scene where you get to see Boruto and his friends taking on these thieves known as the Mujina Thieves, who are just various ninja from other villages, and very much like the Akatsuki, they decide to put a big scratch mark through their protective headbands. And they of course get ambushed by Mitsuki and Sarada, who just completely wipe the floor with them, and even Boruto gets to come in and have a nice heroic moment right before Sarada is about to be stabbed in the face by an Assassin's Creed type weapon, and it's a great panel seeing him kick this dude in the face. The hilarious ripples that appear in this guy's face as he realizes, oh fuck, I just got beat up by a kid! I really like this scene because it does firmly establish that yes, these characters are sort of like the next generation versions of Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura. They still have some distinctive personality quirks that do set them apart, especially the characters of Sarada and Mitsuki. Mitsuki being very quiet and very mysterious, Sarada being very brash and very different than her mother, and basically being the default leader of the group. And then there's Boruto, who is very similar to his father in the sense that yes, he is sort of the main star of the series, he's kind of a big hero and likes to make like a big entrance, but unlike Naruto, he still doesn't really aspire for greatness, not wanting to be the Hokage, just wanting to be a really kick-ass ninja who is into card games, because that's another big part of this chapter, and what almost seems like an effort to try and actually create an actual card game so that they can sell more merchandise. The big thing that's going on in Konoha is that the kids are obsessed with this ninja card game where they have collected data from like all of these ninja all over the world, and you use them to play in this battle game, and they all have like their portraits there, and everybody's trying to get the rarest card. It reminds me of back in the day when I used to go and buy Pokemon cards, and I was hoping to get that rare holofoil Charizard. And that's exactly what Boruto is doing. He's wasting all of the money that he is earning on missions just on these stupid cards, and hilariously enough, he just keeps getting cards of his dad, which is great because of course we know how their dynamic was in the Boruto movie. Yes, he and his father are still on good terms, but he still has to prove himself worthy in the giant shadow that is his father. The rest of the chapter is essentially devoted to introducing some brand new villains. This guy by the name of Shijoji, who we don't really get a very good look at. I mean, it's basically from the side and it's very obscured. He looks like he has a pretty ridiculous haircut, but apparently he has the ability to transform into people, like, right down to their voice and physical appearance, and he can use their abilities, which is, like, a pretty advanced technique when you actually think about it. I mean, what would happen if this guy, like, saw Kaguya or Momoshiki and actually decided to transform into them? I think the stipulation is that as long as he kills them and keeps them in his memory, he has the ability to do this. So he does have to defeat his opponent, so we can just imagine that little by little this guy's been sort of like climbing the ninja ladder, taking out stronger people one at a time, and little by little trying to transform into the ultimate superpowered ninja. It's a pretty devastating technique and probably going to be a Kekai Genkai ability. I can't wait to see where this is actually going to lead, as this is going to be basically our first new major villain of the series, and I hope they don't fuck it up. So what's the rundown on this month's chapter of Boruto? Trying to sexualize Sarada with her ridiculous short skirt and high heels is just plain creepy. Stop doing it, Boruto manga series. I know that you're better than that. Other than that, I was pretty satisfied by this month's chapter of Boruto. I especially loved the action scene. Big shock there. I am an action junkie, but I think they're getting a lot more competent at it, especially with the new artists. They're definitely starting to give it its own feel, but honestly, I like it. I especially love the teamwork dynamic between these guys. I still love Mitsuki's abilities, where he's able to stretch his arms like a snake, which of course makes perfect sense. And then you have Sarada, who, very much like Sakura, is incredibly powerful and takes out people with extreme prejudice, and seems to have a lot of Sasuke's personality when she fights. She's pretty funny in this chapter, but like I said, a little creepy looking with her brand new outfit. And then there's Boruto, who still just continues to be kind of meh for me. I mean, I just can't help but see a clone of Naruto every single time I see him. So I'm really hoping that in this upcoming arc, they're going to do something to try and differentiate him from his father just a little bit more. But really, that's all this chapter has going for it, is that nice little action scene, introducing the concept of a brand new villain, and the fact that all the kids in town are completely obsessed with this stupid card game. It's funny because, of course, it is poking the fun at the fact that these sort of fads have come and gone many, many times. Whether it be Magic the Gathering or freaking Yu-Gi-Oh! These card games are not going away, and kids are going to continue to waste all of their money on this shit. I should know. I was one of them in the late 90s. To be perfectly honest with you guys, I wish I still had my Pokemon cards. I had some great ones. But that's a discussion for another day. I do like this interesting dynamic again, as it's still continuing to paint Konoha in a very different light to the way that I saw it in the original series. Peace truly has arrived in this series. And, of course, coming with that is going to be a plot point that really I'm not all that excited about. I didn't talk about it in the main story portion because I just don't care yet. The daimyo of this country has decided to have this big meeting with Naruto, and he brought his son along, who goes by the name of Tento, who just annoys the hell out of me. He kind of reminds me of the prince from the third Naruto movie, who is the son of a very powerful person. And this kid has lived nothing but an amazingly silver spoon-fed life, and now that he's in Konoha, he is extremely haughty and condescending, and of course Boruto is going to be his bodyguard while his father is in town because he was personally requested to do so, and this Tento kid is just such a dick to Boruto, basically constantly talking down to him, talking about the cheapness of everything. That combined with his stupid design with his little twirly hair, I don't like this character. There's no way that I don't think anyone was going to like this character, as he was created to be hated. So let's all hate along and see what's going to happen with this guy. I'm sure that eventually him and Boruto are going to bond with one another, and it's probably going to have to do with those stupid ninja cards. But really, to me, that's the weakest element of this chapter. It is cool to see new characters. Unfortunately, those characters are kind of freaking annoying. Other than that, I am very excited to see where this story is going to be going, especially with the concept of a shape-shifting villain, which means, as far as we know, this guy's already in town posing as one of our favorite characters, and I think that's going to add a nice little layer of paranoia to this otherwise brand new Naruto series. And so, as a score for this month's chapter, I'm going to give it a solid 4 out of 5. I actually did like this one, despite the fact that the series is really taking its time and getting going, and it's made even more excruciating by the fact that we have to wait a month for every single chapter. Hopefully the brand new Boruto anime series, which starts next week, will sort of alleviate waiting for some of that. We'll just have to wait and see. I am very excited to check that one out. But otherwise, it was great to spend some more time with these new characters, some of the old characters like Naruto and Shikamaru, and even getting to see some little cameos like Mirai, the daughter of Kurenai. It's great to see that she's become a competent ninja. Even Rock Lee's son shows up in this chapter. And of course, there's action, and of course, there's comedy. So honestly, it was a solid package. I'm just being a little biased here because I hate Tento and I want him to burn in a fire. So 4 out of 5 from me. But if any of you guys did read this month's chapter, make sure to tell me what you thought about it in the comments section below. Are you excited to see where this story is going? Do you think Shijoji is going to be a competent villain? What is the cursed seal on Boruto's palm, and what is it going to do, and what do you want to see from the rest of the Boruto manga series? Please tell me in the comments section below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for more, and that includes Boruto anime reviews and more. Brand new shows are starting today, like My Hero Academia and frickin' Attack on Titan Season 2, and you know I'm about to watch those and review them for you, so check that out. Please leave me a comment or two, and of course, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. I'll see you guys next time, and as always, stay damn, baby.